So you're probably wondering what we did today. Well, you're probably not actually. And it's the only recognised attack on Australian soil in World War I. But firstly, New South Wales! What are we doing in New South Wales? What are we doing here? So we were going to go west, we were going to go to Western Australia, we were going to go to the Eyre Peninsula, but instead, New South Wales. We've come east, we've gone across the Barrier Highway, we've got to Port Augusta, and here we are, New South Wales! So we'll update you on why we've gone this way and what we're doing when we pull up at Broken Hill or where we're going to stay tonight. Give you a little insight into that. But firstly, I made a bet with the kids that if I didn't catch anything of legal size in South Australia, I'd pay them $50 each.
Oh, well, what's this? What's this?
Money!
Bet's a bet. I caught one squid. I reckon the squid jig was bigger than the actual squid in Moonta Bay. Didn't even get a bite anywhere else, so $50 in their pockets to do as they please.
Woo, woo, woo. Lego money, Lego money, Lego money.
Lego apparently.
Lego
Anyway,
money, Lego money.
we're on our way to Broken Hill now, which is like 35 minutes that way, I think. Broken Hill, Silverton. Gonna go outback New South Wales, see what it's got to offer. This was never a part of any of our plans. So I've never researched or done anything in regards to finding out what's to see or what's out there, but we're going that way, so here we go. So we'll just put up at Silverton, which is like 15k out of Broken Hill. You have to go into Broken Hill to get here. Silverton's like a historic mine, it's got a historic town, it's got, what's it got? It's got a hotel, it's got some cool cool things of yesteryear. So we stayed at a place called Penrose Recreation Park. I think it costs like $40. We're on a powered site. It's quite warm. I'm gonna use the aircon. But not many other people here except these guys.
Ride on these ones?
No, mate.
No.
I don't even have any carrots.
I think half the place is currently under construction, but it's massive. Like there's little spots everywhere. The sites are massive. Sun's glaring. Playground over there for the kids. We've got girls, guys, toilet block, showers, all that sort of thing. The water's untreated, so it's good for bathing, but not for drinking. So the taps at the sites here don't drink.
My world is fire and blood.
Everything is dependent on oil.
No kidding. For gasoline.
Almost out of water. Water. Now there's the water.
Here they come again.
Mom is not too serious.
That's cool.
How is she?
Got a cracked timing case cover and it's broken a couple of teeth off the timing gears.
Got a cracked timing case cover. It's broken a couple of teeth off the timing gear.
The radiator's damaged at the core.
The radiator's damaged at the core. What does that mean?
24 hours.
24 hours?
There's another one on the wheel over there.
I've got 12. You've got 12.
Nervous?
There's one
Okay.
over on the wheel over there.
What are you doing?
Nothing to jump on this side. Well, else we do.
Any other buttons? So much for our beer that we're coming to have. So where's what other button you push? Did you push that one?
Push that.
No.
Oh, I did. I don't know if it did.
Down
I'm
there.
gonna die. I'm gonna die historic on a glory road. Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Just sitting here at the famous Silverton Hotel. It's very, very cool. We're in the beer garden because the kids are over the back there playing in the kids area. What do you reckon, Mum?
Yeah, it's really cool. It'd be really good if there was some live music sitting out here, I reckon, which it seems like they have up there. They've got a stage up there.
Yeah, when this is pumping, this would be really cool. So they have the Monday Bash out here, which we just went for a drive out there. I tried to get onto a property chasing a pub that's not a real pub, but private property, so I might even try and give them a call, see if I can get on there tomorrow morning. But yeah, this is like the town's famous for its history, but also Mad Max as well was filmed out here. So there's a Mad Max museum, there's a really cool gallery, there's a bakery next door. I like it, I really like this place. It's got a cool feel to it. We're obviously here way earlier than the season. I think it's, again, we're probably a few weeks ahead of it, given that the hot temperatures are still around or still hanging around. So, but give it a month or two and this place will be pumping. Absolutely pumping, unless the season's already been. I don't know, I need to check that. But Silverton Hotel is really, really cool. Two facts of information around Broken Hill and Silverton that absolutely blow my mind, and I'm going to do my best to remember them because I've only learnt them in the past couple of days, and one of them I've only learnt basically in the past hour. So firstly, Silverton Hotel, where we just had a few beers and I'm continuing on now. It was in 1885. The Syndicate of Seven met to wrap up the Broken Hill Mining Company and form the Broken Hill Proprietary or Proprietors of Mining or something like that, which today is known as BHP, the biggest mining company in the world, as far as I'm aware anyway. This way, kidlets. I thought it was pretty cool. So we just had some beers there where BHP was created. Secondly,
And
the train. Talking about trains, the train information. So there used to be a thing called the picnic train, which would run from Broken Hill out to where we're staying at Silverton and Penrose Park, and sort of through the thing. And Beverly Hill, not Beverly Hillites, Broken Hillites, because that's what they apparently called the locals, according to some of the signage I've read. Broken Hillites used to catch it, and that used to be like a family thing to do, get on the picnic train. But during World War One, I'm going to stuff this bit up. During World War One, Persia had, I won't call him a sheikh, I don't know what the terminology is, living in the area, and they had actually planned an attack on the picnic train, and it's the only recognised attack on Australian soil in World War One, and it happened in Broken Hill of all places. Like, it's literally on this side of town, the north west side of town. you can go visit a thing, which we haven't done. I might do it tomorrow. But the train back there reminded me of some story that I read. So pretty cool information. I don't know, I found it interesting. Hope that's interesting to you. Bright and early morning in Silverton. And I've told these two that this is the dance stage and they're not allowed on it unless they're dancing. So are they?
It's fun.
You dancing? Absolute animals they are. So I've just left the family back at the caravan park, and I've come into Silverton, which is a whole 2-minute drive. I'm going to see the Mad Max Museum. I think it's $30 for a family and maybe 10 for an adult. So Trina wasn't too interested in it. Eva kind of wanted to come, but then she was like, no, I'm not coming. So I'm doing it by myself. So go check it out and see what it's all about. Mad Max 2 Museum, Silverton. I liked it. I can't say I'm an original fan of the Mad Max series. I don't know exactly when it came out, but I think I was either not born yet or very much a toddler. So loved the new one, the Fury Road one, and I have seen the old ones as well a few times. So I used to work at Blockbuster actually. People used to love the movie. So just such a different movie, or different movie series. The museum, it's all dedicated to Mad Max 2, which is filmed a lot around this area. It was good. It was really good. They had a lot in their collection, so they didn't actually let you film or take photos inside the shed, the main bit with all the photos. I assume because they don't want to flash photography in there, deteriorating it. It's kind of weird though. You walk in and you can't see anything. There's a guy sitting in this corner of a booth where you pay in $10, which I think's worth it. $10 is a decent price to get in there. Lots of reading, lots of behind the scenes stuff. There's videos you can sit there and watch about the behind the scenes. But then you sort of go outside and you can see a lot of either replica or actual vehicles from the show as well. So I liked it. Yeah, I really liked it. I probably spent 45 minutes in there just reading and like looking at things and checking it out, and just I don't know, we've been here for an hour and sort of driven around a fair bit. An hour. We've been here for a day, driven around a bit already, so you can kind of piece together locations that we used in the film and everything like that, which is cool to sort of see where it sort of all happened. Like I'm not a big movie person, but still, it's when you see something so iconic, like the Mad Max series, and the locations where a lot of those big scenes were filmed, I don't know, it kind of makes it a little bit more real in many ways. So Mad Max 2 Museum, 2 thumbs up from me. Go and check it out if you're in Silverton, or Broken Hill even, which is 20 minutes away.
What is not love?
Looks good. Looks like good shoe.
Mommy.
So just waiting on these two to catch up. This is the main street of Silverton. The famous Silverton Hotel behind us. We've got the bakery there, which we just had a beautiful chocolate eclair from. A couple other little things down there. We're camped down around the corner.
And I got the
Mundy Flats are the other way. And then up that way. That way we've got the Mad Max 2 Museum, which I went to earlier. And the John Dinan Gallery, which we're going to now, which I think is a gold coin donation to get in. He's called I think he's called the Emu Man or Emu Artist or something like that. So looks pretty funky. And then on top of the hill over there, you got another art gallery, a couple of churches. But that's kind of Silverton. I don't know where the donkeys are today. They usually just roam the streets. Plenty of signs out saying don't feed them or anything. But I'm in love with this town. What do you reckon, Mama, of Silverton?
Yeah, it's good. It's very quiet and sleepy. You wouldn't stay here a long time, but it's good.
Feels like we're in the outback.
and hammer.
And we all got a new hammer.
So he paid. Eva got a new doll with the money I got or gave them because I didn't catch a fish. And Will bought this bloody $35 construction kit just to get, well, apparently it wasn't 35, just 25 just to get the hammer. So anyway, whatever, that was the deal.
My one. This is out where open.
That's funny, isn't it?
What is
Kids,
Come put your money in.
you put your money in?
where? I need Mommy, Mom,
Yes.
what do you want to have?
Is there? Yeah, there is too. This is very cool, isn't it?
Did you put the money in, guys?
We did.
They look like photos. Is that one not dry yet that he's painting?
So the Emu Man, or the Emu Artist, John Dinan, he's rated in the top 5 outback painters in Australia.
And he was painting something while we were in there.
Yep, if you could hear that, he was painting something while we were in there. It's absolutely crisp what he's painting, or all of his paintings. Just be careful with the kids, because like he's selling them for $3.5 grand and that sort of thing. So some wandering fingers will get you in a bit of strife. So here's one of the churches, the Methodist Church. Another one up there, and there's another gallery just over there as well. So it feels very remote, very outbacky, which is exactly what you want it to feel like when you're in the middle of nowhere. So pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. What's your doll think of it?
Good.
Good. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Well, that's it with Silverton. We had one night there and then extended it to 2. I actually really liked it. Lots to do, and it's not just a one-trick pony. It's got a fair bit of history in both like the historical mining stuff, but also the Mad Max stuff. It just feels like you're in the outback. So, what do you reckon, Mama?
Yeah, it was good. It's I'm starting to miss the beach already though, which sounds probably silly because it's only been like 3 weeks maybe, but yeah, the outback's good. It's good for a change. It was very cold compared to what I thought it was going to be. We used to, the last few weeks it's been in the 40s, and here it was only like 24. I actually got the pants out for the first time in a long time, so it was a bit fresh.
Trina's a cold freak.
Whatever.
Absolutely. The Ugg boots are out. She carried on like we're in the Antarctic or the Arctic or whatever. But we don't even know where we're going today. We're going to go back through Broken Hill. We're going to wash the caravan, which is in desperate need of a wash. We haven't found one because water's been pretty scarce. And then we don't know where we're going. We're just going to drive as far as we can, I think. Just continuing up to that Queensland border and stopping anywhere along the way that looks interesting. So there we go. It's April Fool's Day today. I've already got Mum and Eva a couple of times. So we're effectively bypassing Broken Hill on this little part of our journey, and plenty of people sort of scoff at that, saying there's lots of things to do there, but we can't do everything. We've kind of learned that very quickly. Trina and the kids came in to Kmart and did some shopping yesterday, but yeah, driving through Broken Hill at the moment. We just washed the car. Silver City Car Wash has a nice little step up to clean your caravan properly, although our caravan's still too high and I couldn't get on the roof for solar panels. But a couple of other little facts about Broken Hill. So it's a New South Wales town in the far west, but it still runs on South Australian time. We did not expect that. We got to the border expecting our Telstra mobiles and all that to update, but that didn't happen. So I think somewhere between here and Wilcannia that'll happen. And the other thing is, we're only 50k over the South Australian border. New South Wales roads are shocking compared to South Australian roads. That's the same for Victoria when you cross into South Australia as well. It's like you're floating on a cloud in South Australia, but it's bigger neighbour states to the east, Victoria and New South Wales. Not much chop. Clean your act up, guys. Come on, come on. It's a bit bumpy. It's a bit bumpy. So just saw our first pig roadkill. Pig and his little baby, or her little baby, I assume. Assuming they're feral. This way, there's a whole lot of goats between, well, the last few days of driving, from the Flinders Ranges through to Broken Hill. We've just come through Wilcannia. Now, Facebook's to be believed. All the forums on there tell me that's one of the worst towns in Australia. I don't want to be the voice of knowledge because I spent 2 minutes in the place trying to find a servo that looked half open, but the whole town kind of seems either shut or asleep, and it's what, 1:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. So that could be flood related. It could just be a Saturday afternoon in outback New South Wales. I don't know. There's a lot of, this area got smashed obviously from the Darling floods. We just crossed the Darling for the first time. It itself seemed pretty low, but there's a lot of sort of surface water in the floodplains and that area. So a lot of the tracks, like the Darling River Run up to Burke and then south to Menindee, and then it's just sort of the Cobb Highway. A lot of those are closed, so assuming still from either flooding or flood damage. So we don't know where we're going today. We've been in the car for a few hours now. Probably do a few more. Going to get some fuel up this way, but yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, just ticking off kilometres at the moment. It's not a whole heap to see on the Barrier Highway, and we don't really know how far we can get off it into some of these towns due to the flooding. I know there's a few stations around this area that are closed due to that. So yeah, just getting the kilometres high, spending a fortune on fuel, and getting somewhere closer to that Queensland border over the next couple of days. So you're probably wondering what we did today. Well, you're probably not actually, but I'll tell you, we did nothing. We drove, and we drove, and we drove. It's now 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We lost half an hour with the time difference. Eva's just playing in the dirt here, and we've just pulled in to a place called Meralda Station. I don't know how much it cost. We kind of just were sort of flying by the seat of our pants. So we ran the lady and said, hey, you got a night for us, unpowered. We don't need any of that sort of stuff. We've got enough water to go. But over here, you might be able to see Trina and Will in the distance. Looks like they've got a shower, they've got a little camp kitchen. Apparently there are another couple of cars pulling in a bit later tonight. But again, it's still early season, if the season's even open. These guys opened like literally 2 or 3 days ago for the new season. They closed at summer. So I like it. It's rustic. It's just a big paddock. You got something to say, Beeves?
No, what's that?
What is this? That looks like the jawbone. Oh, looks like the jaw or some part of a sheep. Sheep station. It's like 5 minutes out of Cobar in outback New South Wales. So I think we got about 450k done today. But yeah, this is cool. We should get a nice little sunset over there. It's supposed to get a bit windy. I don't know what these clouds are doing, but And the prickles are back apparently, so I'm going to check the mat out. Going to stay here start because we think we're going to move tomorrow, but we don't know. Apparently driving through Cobar to get here, Cobar, if that's how you pronounce it, actually seems quite big. So I might check out what's on offer, and if there's a bit on offer and a bit to do, hang around for another night, because I cannot be bothered driving anymore. I'm sick and tired of these big days that we've been doing the last few. So washed the van today, just looking at some of that red dust we picked up on the road into the camping part of the station. That red dirt. So anyway, I'll stop chatting. Ciao.
We're stuck in Broken Hill. Our car's broken down.
What's the date, babe?
April Fool.
Ah,
and I have a fire.
We do. Look at that. We have a fire. Footy's on in the background. Starlink's on. We have a fire. It is April 1st, which means it's the first day that fire season is finished in New South Wales. They've allocated at the front at the station where we're staying that they're okay as long as you're in the fire pit. It's I can't remember the last time. Where was the last place where they had fires? Tassie.
I think Tassie's the last time we had a fire.
And not everywhere in Tassie allowed them. So we are now 75 days or something into our trip.
And we have to wear gumboots.
Yeah, we have to wear gumboots.
I got bangy.
75 days. There's probably been 60 at least since we've been out to have a fire. So the other thing, like when you're out here, these mats and these mats.
And there's an outback shower.
So the muck mat, but the bigger mat.
No, the outback shower.
Yeah, we'll show them the outback shower soon. But these mats are fantastic because there is burrs all over that dirt. You just can't escape them. There's the nice lot of soft little burrs, but there's also the really prickly ones as well. So.
And I pranked my grandma and my nanny and pop and my cousin. We're stuck in Broken Hill. Our car's broken down. April Fools, Grandma. Gotcha, April Fools.
Been pranks going on all day.
And we did from April's.
April's. Happy April's.
Happy April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool's Day.
It's hot, mate. It's hot.
Alright, so we are just on the other side of the Darling River at Burke now. Darling River is like 100 metres that way. But just so we give you a little update, because we're moving pretty quick at the moment through outback New South Wales. Had a couple of nights at Silverton, then we had a night last night at Cobar. Quiet, like I think I said I don't know how much it cost. It actually cost $37. Unpowered, no water, no electricity, so a little bit pricey for me. But they had showers and that sort of thing, so we're saving water along the way, I guess, but we are paying for it. So, but yeah, just wanted to chat as to why we're in outback New South Wales and why we basically did a 180 at Coober Pedy. So. If you look on a map, Coober Pedy is like halfway across Australia almost, and we got out there after doing Unadilla, and we were intending to go south from there. We had 3 options in mind when we were sort of researching the trip, and that kind of area there was where we were gonna make some decisions. So Murray being the start of both Unadilla and Birdsville Track, our preferred option was to go up the Birdsville Track instead of Unadilla, and then cut across from Birdsville into southeast Queensland and start back on the coast and go that way, so anti-clockwise. When we got to the Birdsville Track, there was a few reports coming through that it was pretty rocky and a lot of tyres were getting done. So early in the season, it was 40-degree days, as you might have already seen on the Unadilla Track episode. So we went Unadilla, and then from there, we're like, okay, we'll go option 2, which was to go south from Coober Pedy, down the air, and then across the Nullarbor and go west, like basically everyone else we'd met so far on the trip. And option 3 was to go Coober Pedy, but instead of going south, we'll go north into like Uluru, Alice Springs, Western, East McDonald's, and then cut across the Plenty Highway, and then get us back into that same pocket of Queensland, Boulia, Birdsville, cut it back across to the southeastern Queensland coastline and start from there. Now, option 2 to go south to Eyre, the Eyre Peninsula, and then follow the coast west, it was too cold. Like we got used to these 30 plus 30 degree days, so it was too cold, and we're like, well, we'll go north then. And then there's still a lot of road closures in that southwest pocket of Queensland because of all the rain they've had this year. We've sort of seen it over the last few days as to what the Darling floods have done, Darling River floods. If you get off the Barrier Highway in any direction, they're all still closed. The stations are all closed. So talking to Trina, and what her preferences were was what?
Well, we always wanted to go to Queensland early on the trip, so my preference was always go that way because that's what we decided before we even left. So I just didn't know it was a possibility because I just assumed all the roads were closed and we couldn't possibly get there. So. And
we got used to the sunshine.
Yeah, we did get used to the sunshine. We looked at the weather forecast in like Eyre Peninsula and those kinds of areas, and they were like 18s, 20s, and we were like, well, the whole point of going on this trip was to get out of cold Victoria and chase in the sun and get some nice temperatures. So we kind of thought, yeah, let's try and do that when it's better temperature, that area. So
yeah, so hopefully, like, now we've made this decision, we're well and truly into it. Like we only made it like 5 days ago, and we've gone from Coober Pedy, Port Augusta, Broken Hill area for Silverton for a couple of days, which was really cool. Then we've just plunged through from Wilcannia, did Cobar really quickly. We didn't stop and do any of that. And now we're at Burke, and we're going to continue on. We're actually going to go across the Queensland border today into Cunnamulla, and we've booked the site there at Charlotte Plains. Everyone's sort of seen that before. It's famous for its artesian baths. So we're gonna we'll get there quickly, and then we'll be like, we're gonna start slowing down again. So
the kids are sick of sitting in the car for days, but at least they get to Queensland quicker. They are super excited for Queensland. So, and
it's tiring, like sitting in the car all day, like whether you're driving or whatever, it's tiring. You're doing nothing, and like a full day in a caravan for us is like 450, 500 k's. Like that takes us from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock. If you're not towing, not stopping, the kids are over here on the playground as Will's sort of running back, yeah?
Okay, mate.
He needs to do a poo, so Trina will leave us. But yeah, a full day doesn't get you that far. Like if you're doing a road trip at home, like I've driven across the Nullarbor in 2 days. I've driven back from Queensland in a day and a half. Probably that was mid last year, without towing. But when you're towing and when you've got kids, you don't get far on the big days. They want to stop, they need to have toilet breaks, and you just need a rest from it all as well, because towing is quite, like, you're always only one split second or one lapse in judgment away from putting that back wheel into the dirt or just things going amiss. So it's not, I wouldn't say stressful, but it's always, you're sort of always on your toes. The driving out this way has been pretty simple, like a lot of flat roads, a lot of straight roads. But yeah, I think from a decision point of view, as Trina said, we want to get to the coastline quickly. We wanted to get across that Queensland coast and kind of start our lap from there. So I've actually booked the Gold Coast for 7 nights over Easter. Couple of little surprises there. We're actually catching up with the grandparents and the rest of the family.
Yeah, but the kids don't know about it.
Kids don't know. They know we're going to the Gold Coast and we're going to stay and sort of live it up there, because Eva's super excited for the water parks and the theme parks, but they don't know about that second bit. So just keep that on a hush hush. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of exciting that we are definitely locked into it now. It's not like we can cut back across. Well, we could, but it's.
We've done a lot of driving and spent a lot of money on fuel for no reason if we did that.
Yeah, it's a big trip. So we've, as Trina said, on fuel, we're getting probably, like today's good because we've got a little tiny tailwind. It's not much, but it's not, at least we're not driving into it. But I was getting like, I didn't even get 300k out of a tank going from Coober Pedy to Port Augusta. We had to stop at Pimba because of the headwinds. And it wasn't even a big headwind, it was like 20-25k an hour. Yesterday we had a bit of a side wind, kind of get us a little bit higher, but today we've got that tailwind and it makes such a huge difference. So, but yeah, that's kind of the update. We're gonna spend, I don't know, the next 2.5-3 months in Queensland, and then we'll start cutting across. The other reason was we had a good chat to a couple of guys at Maree, the Pommies they called themselves, I think.
They weren't a couple of guys, a husband and wife.
Well, guys for me refers to everyone, but they were saying you want to be north of the Tropic of Capricorn by May. So if we continue west, we're going to have another 6 weeks or so before we even hit Perth, with the Nullarbor, the air, the southwest of WA, before we even hit Perth, and then we start making our way north. So if we go this way, we get to southeast Queensland, and then by May we're going to be around that time. And what they say with that is you maximise your good weather in the tropics, from May onwards.
They'd been travelling for a good 2.5 years, so they knew what they were talking about. It was good advice, I reckon. So that kind of got us thinking again. And the other thing they said was, which we kind of knew about but didn't really give it a lot of thought, in Exmouth in May, I think it is, they got the solar eclipse, which solar eclipse, which people will come from all around the world for, and then people in Australia will travel there by caravan, any means possible. They're planes, trains and automobiles basically. So that was something that we knew about but not really given any thought, in that you'll get the people going up, but you also get the people coming back down from that as well, so on the west coast. So it'll be a bit of a double whammy. Even if we're not in Exmouth by May, you'll still get all those travellers coming back down, back to where they live and all that sort of thing, that have gone there just specifically for that. So it would have been busy, and like that wasn't the ultimate decision, but it just gave us a couple of reasons to say, hey, well, what else is out there? So
We're playing on the playground.
they're playing on the playground. That's why they've been quiet and you haven't had much
just
of them.
excited to get out of the car, aren't you, and stretch your legs.
So anyway, we have got lunch cooking in the travel buddy behind us in the canopy. A few pies and pasties in there.
Yeah.
In terms of the weather, the next week's going to be plus 30 again. We were looking at the Eyre Peninsula again before. It's like in the teens, the high teens. So I think we made the right choice there. And we've got Cunnamulla booked for a couple of days, 3 days. And then I think we're going to get back into New South Wales, go down to Lightning Ridge and head that way. But yeah, I know there's a lot of talking so far in this episode and we're just adding to it now, but haven't really, like, we're flying past things. The main thing we've seen is goats, really. There's lots of goats on the side of the road.
There's plenty of wildlife, goats and emus, and
yeah,
there's even been a sign for wild horses, which I haven't seen any yet, and stuff, so just got to be careful.
So yeah, hopefully we can get back to this part of the world and explore it a bit more. The Darling River Run really sounds like a cool thing to do, but it's just, you can't do that. It is hard at the moment, so I'm going to actually change it to a single, I think. Bust these guns out and we'll get back on the road, so we're not getting in there at nightfall.
Let's go.
Ciao!
So